So I'm going to review Bride of the Century, which is a drama that recently ended. So it's kind of a spring 2014 drama. It stars Lee Hong-gi as Chae Kang-ju and Yang Jin-sung as Na Durim. Now, I was a little apprehensive about this drama because Lee Hong-gi was the main character, and it's kind of one of those stereotypical K-drama roles where he plays a rich, jerky, cold, arrogant guy. And if you're familiar with dramas at all, you know Lee Hong-gi as his role in Jeremy from You're Beautiful. And that was a great role. He was really good in that. But I couldn't really picture him in such a totally opposite role than Jeremy. So yeah, I wasn't sure how that was going to go. But he surprised me in this. But I guess I'll start and say what the drama is about. So Bride of the Century is about a really wealthy corporation and the family that owns the corporation. And there's a curse on the family for the past 100 years that the first son, the first wife of the first son dies. And Kang-ju he's heard the rumors, but it's not like a story he believes. But the father knows it's true because the father's first wife did die on the day after they were married. And it's kind of just, like I said, a curse that's kind of followed the family. So what happens is Kang-ju is engaged to a girl, Jong Yi-kyung. And she's kind of... I don't really see her as having a great personality. You can tell that she loves Kang-ju, but she's not... They just have it's more of a relationship because of the benefits of it, not because they actually love each other. So he treats her badly. Kang-ju treats her badly because, like I said, he's kind of one of those insensitive, cold jerks. And she gets tired of it, and she basically runs away. The night of an important dinner they're supposed to have with a client. So she runs away, and the mother and her brother kind of go crazy. Well, the brother, earlier in the drama, had run into a girl who looked exactly like Yi-kyung, except she was completely different personality-wise, but they looked like identical twins. Her name was Na Durim, and Na Durim is a really nice, kind, hardworking, kind of that average K-drama character. And her grandmother has to have a surgery. She's poor. Her grandmother's raised her, so she needs the money. So Yi-kyung's mother and brother pay her to pretend to be Kang-ju's fiance. And this is already going to be hard because although they're identical, like I said, they're completely opposite personality-wise, taste in food, taste in everything-wise. So it's also funny because she takes on that role, but it's funny how little Kang-ju knew his fiance because he realizes that there's something different with Durim, but not enough that he suspects that she's not the same person. So that just shows how little he actually cared about his fiance. But he gradually gets to actually like the impersonator because she's such a nice person. She has this really outgoing personality that the other girl didn't have. And the rest of the drama basically just follows their relationship and what happens when the real fiance comes back and about the curse and all that. So it was a little bit of a different drama because it had a little, the supernatural aspect of it because of the ghost. There's a ghost that I guess has to do with the curse. And although that's interesting to me because we do see supernatural dramas have become a little bit of a trend this year, just like time travel was last year and the year before. I mean, time travel has been a little bit of a thing, but ghost, you know, supernatural stuff is like with the Master's Son and all those. But even though that is, you know, interesting, they didn't really do a lot with the ghost. I mean, she's important to this story, and you see her, and there's some developments, but they could have used the supernatural aspect a lot more than they did. Like I was saying, I thought Kongju he's one of those like stereotypical. Well, the thing with this whole drama is that it's very cliched. There are a ton of Korean drama cliches in this drama, and although you can get kind of annoyed with those after you've watched so many, like I've watched a lot of dramas, they didn't bother me in this because they were just handled a different way. It was like the same old cliches, but they were just, I guess, a fresh take on them, if that makes sense. So it didn't bother me with that. But Kongju, you know, had his development from a jerk to a nice guy. Lee Hyun-gi was really good in this role. Na Do-rim was probably my favorite character. She was just really fun, you know, spunky personality. She didn't take crap from anybody. She would beat up guys if they annoyed her. She definitely showed Kongju who was boss when he tried to like talk down to her. But as it happens in a lot of dramas, by the end of it, she got a little weaker. If you know what I'm talking about, if you've ever watched a K-drama, mostly Korean dramas because I've watched the most of those, but the female lead can start off really like stubborn and really powerful and independent, but for some reason along the way she gets so weak and she just cries a lot, and the melodrama just amps up. Even if it's supposed to be a funny drama, the melodrama just cranks up and she becomes a lot less of the character she was at the beginning. And Na Do-rim did go through a little bit of that, but thankfully it just lasted a few episodes and then she was herself again. But I still had a little bit of issue with that. Another thing that I didn't like about this drama was I think the first 8 or 9 episodes are great. Like I said, they're cliched, but they're fun. It was a fresh take on it. It was funny. I was really into it. But as it got toward episode 10 and then kind of mostly to episode 16, the story just kind of went a little weird for me. Like, the mellow was, like I said, tons of melodrama going on. And, you know, the main character got a lot weaker, which I didn't like. Just a lot of developments in the story that happened that I didn't think were that interesting or that great. Like, I just felt they could have done a lot more with the story. You know, they had this whole curse thing. They had, you know, doppelgangers and secrets and all this stuff. And I just think that they could have done more than what they did. And there was also the whole annoying, oh, someone goes away for a couple years thing, which is so... You see it in a lot of dramas as well, and it kind of just gets old. So, it was a good drama. I gave it an 8. It could have been a 10. It could have been a 10. But just with some of the way the story developed and some of the character inconsistencies, I had it rated a little lower, but I still think it was a really good drama. The acting was pretty solid. Like I said, good characters. It had, like, you know, the supernatural thing, which, although it's getting a little bit more used, it's still a pretty fresh take on the normal dramas that you see nowadays. And yeah, so I liked it. I would recommend it. And as always, thanks for watching, and let me know if there's any other dramas or movies that you would like me to review. So, thanks for watching. Bye.